Hi, it's Dr. Kirk Megu, TV and podcast host and former university lecturer. Now, over the past couple of days, I've been telling you how I've been trying to get Shashi Thur on my program. Not trying to get him really, but just trying to make it happen because he's agreed. We've scheduled, but it had to delay for 2 days now because today got postponed again. So hopefully next week it'll come off. Actually, it's going to be better next week because next week will be my 1 year anniversary. Well, not the anniversary, but my last show for my first year, week number 52. So it will be a great way if it actually comes off. So we'll deal with that as that comes next week. But in the meanwhile, what did that leave me with after I got the message this morning? I had to scramble for this week because I did tell you yesterday that I had somebody lined up, but he didn't confirm. So anyway, I tried to reconfirm with him, but just in case that didn't happen, I had to, scramble through my network there to see who could I get at the last minute who would be able to do something this week for Friday. I had already contacted a French presidential candidate, Jacques Cheminade. He's I can't remember how many times he's gone up for the French presidency, but I wanted to talk about the Yellow Vest movement in France, which has not been getting international coverage at all. That also has been going on for a year. So many injuries and deaths, and there's a media blackout on it. But anyways, I haven't heard from Jacques, so I'm trying to get in touch with him. There's another guy, another dream guest, not just a guy, George Galloway from the UK. He agreed, just like Dr. Sharour, and it's just to set up a time and confirm because it's always been postponed as well. So that's the second person I was trying to see if I could get him on this week. Then I had another person, Bill Martin. He's an interesting guy. He's a Marxist, American professor, but supportive of Donald Trump, very critical of the Democratic Party. And he's got a very interesting analysis. And again, we keep threatening to do this podcast, but I contacted him again. And then my fourth, I have kind of as a backup that I think pretty much always use is a Green Party U.S. presidential, he's not a candidate yet because he hasn't been chosen, but he's a contender for the Green Party presidential candidacy. So I had him lined up, and then one other person who had actually asked to be on the program. A colleague of his asked for him to be on the program, who is the Americas coordinator for the LaRouche program. So we'll be talking about what's going on in Bolivia and other things in the Americas as well, with the Belt and Road Initiative. So anyway, I have these people lined up. So I sent out my emails this morning. So I had the Jacques Cheminade from France. I had the American Marxist professor. I have the Green Party American guy. I have the Americas person from the LaRouche movement. So those four, I think. Oh yeah, George Galloway from the UK. So 5 people. So sent it out, and so I had 2 days or so, to try. Today, tomorrow would really be where I would try. Thankfully, I did arrange for a Friday interview with the Americas coordinator. I'm also doing an interview tomorrow with one of the Green Party candidates tomorrow, but that's actually going to be on his podcast. So I'll be the guest. But sometimes when I'm the guest, I rebroadcast it on my own podcast as well, because it's a conversation and sometimes it turns around so I could get to hear it. Well, so it looks like this week's problem is solved. We'll see how it goes. But this is, when you are preparing to put together a podcast, that's where you should have your list done out first. You coordinate with your people before you start publishing your first episode. And so that's what I train you to do in the bulletproof podcast formula training course I have. And I will kind of help you through it whenever you need help. So that's it, just sharing my experience with you. And I had to be putting this training course off, getting it ready, because I have all this other stuff to do, but my office is now more or less fixed up, so I can get back on track. Well, that's it, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.